Hi, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio at Phocuswright Europe, and I am joined by Carlos Cendra. He is CMO at Mabrian Technologies. Welcome, Carlos.
Thank you, Mitra. Thank you for having me.
So I know that Mabrian gathers a lot of data from around the world on different consumer behaviors and trends and things such as that. Can you just start by giving me a sense, broadly, globally, what are some of the key trends you're seeing?
Well, I would highlight the most important trend is the demand. I mean, demand is still growing, and it's growing far from the 2019 levels, right? In certain regions, like in the Mediterranean Europe, we see much higher demand, even with the increase in prices and with all that the current situation in terms of economic and even political issues in Europe. Demand for traveling is really going up.
Yeah. So as we're seeing that demand go up, of course, that also starts to make me think about some of the issues around sustainability, which is something that, has really become top of mind for everyone. And there's going to be these questions now around whether some destinations are going to probably be dealing with over-tourism again and crowds and things. What are you finding related to sustainability?
Yeah, you're right that we are now recovering problems that we had before that pandemic times. And we are more and more conscious, both the travelers and the residents, since education it's being leading this kind of thinking differently, right? In terms of what we should do, what we can afford when we're traveling to a destination, and also the residents are being more conscious about the impact in terms of negative impact that the tourism can have, but also the positive impact. When the COVID happens, a lot of the resident people realize how important the tourism is for their lives and their local economies as well. So I think we're getting to the right balance in between the hosting communities and also the visitors to get to the same objective, which is enhancing the traveling, but make it in a balanced way.
So what would you say might be some of the key points, let's say for a destination, for a DMO, to keep in mind related to sustainability?
Well, first of all, I would say education. Education for the private sector who's evolving these services and providing the services at destination, but also, again, with the locals, with the residents. Since I think when a visitor is getting to a destination, you behave the same way you see around, isn't it? So it's key that you really feel in a place where people is conscious when they're just normal living. So you act the same way. And then obviously regarding the transport and the hospitality and all the accommodation services, they must be just moving forward to sustainable standards, obviously to make that everything goes to a global goal, let's say.
Okay. And then just a little bit more broadly beyond the sustainability point, I'm wondering as far as consumer behavior, let's say related to flight search or, hotel bookings, just their general travel planning and things. Anything that you're seeing there that's changing?
Yeah, well, actually it's changing the opinion.
Okay.
Not that much the actual bookings so far. I mean, we see how the travelers, when looking for their flights, their accommodation, they're really keen to be more sustainable. And we have plenty of data, and there is a lot of published regarding that. But actually, when making the actual booking, there's still a gap on their thoughts and their actions, and it's a matter of the cost normally, the price, basically. But this is starting to move, and people is starting to really behave as they think, right? Also, companies are more and more offering sustainable options with less impact in terms of price. So I think we are moving on that, and this is something that, well, everybody knows that you have to be really on it because the demand trend goes that way.
Yeah, I mean, so we have the flight ban in France. I'm curious, do you think we might see more of that in other countries? And
I think
that certainly
so.
Starts to move the behavior then.
Yeah, I think so. And it makes a lot of sense, especially here in Spain, where we have a rail service. I think it's the best in Europe. I mean, we have a wide range of high-speed connectivity in Spain. Also a really good structure in terms of airports. But it makes a lot of sense that regulations that just started in France starts to expand to other countries. And in fact, we are now doing a study on what would be the impact in whole Europe if authorities finally goes to banning this kind of short-haul flights, and what would be the impact in terms of savings in carbon footprint, and also analyzing if actually there is a service, an offer in terms of rail services nowadays that could cover the demand of all that travelers, which is the other part of the picture.
Yeah, there has to be the capacity if you're going to make that change, I guess. So very interesting. Well, Carlos Cendra from Mabrian Technologies, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mitra.
All right, thank you.